This is West Main Street that runs through the middle of Hillsborough. There is a large building that appears to have been a car dealership, but now appears to be some sort of business front. There are two small signs on the building. One says SC Auto Repair, and another says Haas Exhaust. So supposedly they have taken over a building that had been designed to be a car dealership and has turned it into a mechanic's garage mall, I guess. I am sure that there are mechanics garages in the back. However, the whole front of the building is designed to be a car dealership with a large showroom floor and offices. So what two auto mechanics garages will be doing with the whole front of a building like this is unknown to me. You cannot see from this video. However, when I drove past this building, I could see inside the car showroom floor. It did not have any cars in it, but they still had quite a few desks with 5 or 6 people standing around. Once again, there are two signs on the building that don't do much for advertising. You could barely see the SC Auto Repair sign from the road. However, there are quite a few cars parked all around this building. So it looks like a very busy place. But when I first drove by and saw it, I guessed it to be a car dealership that just recently closed down and was in the process of shutting down completely. That is the type of impression a place like this gives off, almost on purpose. Across the street from the Haas Exhaust building is a very large abandoned building with a sign that says Associated Electric Company and Power Equipment. Whenever you are investigating an area and you see a large, apparently abandoned building, I would make sure to get video footage of that building. I would not go inside that building because you could get arrested or even attacked. But I would get video of that building and anything in that surrounding area. And the reason a building like this should be of concern is because the military secret society can fit large amounts of people in the building for some sort of illegal activity. The house on the left appears to be an abandoned house, and it is slowly falling to ruin. And then on the right is a small cemetery. So this large abandoned building looks pretty isolated, and people could easily park across the street at this old car dealership, now called Haas Exhaust. And they have plenty of parking there. So they could park there and easily walk across the street into this large abandoned building that has 2 giant warehouses. I don't usually do this. However, if you look at the words used in the Haas Exhaust business name, if you space it out differently, it could spell out something subliminally. It spells hose, sex, house, H-A-U-S. Now, Haas is a slang word for horse, and horse is a code word used by the military secret society to call someone they are in the process of manipulating and setting up to be attacked and killed. They call their targets hose, Haas, or horse. But this is often what the military establishment does. Often communicate with each other through subliminal words, sounds, and images. So it does not surprise me that this is right across the street from this giant abandoned building with 2 giant warehouses. 2 houses down from the Haas exhaust building, also on the right, is the Army National Guard. And right next to that is a golf course called the Angus Leah Golf Course. So to finish up with the Night Rider Snowmobile Club, there is a small section on their website, again with not a lot of information, but it states annual golf tournament. We will be having our annual golf tournament at the Angus Leah Golf Course in October of 2020. More info will be made available in the summer. And if you need any more information, you can contact Steve or Samantha Livingston at Livingston's Garage. And we took a look at that in part 22, 23, and 24 of this series. And then their website states, check out some pictures from our most recent golf event. And they show a series of group photographs, I guess, who are all also part of the Night Riders Snowmobile Club. And there is one photo with 4 men standing with the sign that advertised Livingston's Arctic Cat. And the sign is done in stencil, much like the Haas exhaust sign. So if you are driving down West Main Street, which is the main street that runs through Hillsborough, you will pass the Army National Guard Center on the right. And right next to that is the Angus Leah Golf Course. So you go a little bit farther to the so-called historic district of Hillsborough, and you make a right on Bridge Street. Then you make another quick right on Mill Street, and that is where the abandoned mill is. So you drive for another mile, and now you are on the other side of the river. So this is called Longwoods Road. And you can see across to the backside of the Angus Leah Golf Course. And the Angus Leah Golf Course is right next to the National Guard. There is like this peninsula of land that is surrounded by the river. And it seems like the Army National Guard Center and the Angus Leah Golf Course are on the same chunk of land. So right in this area is a very run-down section of Hillsborough, and this is on Longwoods Road. And that includes a trailer park and abandoned building that is identified as a metal finishing shop on an internet map. And they got houses like this. So here is what appears to be an old barn that is getting ready to collapse. It is boarded up. The roof is caving in, and there is junk piled all around. The strange thing is that the building appears to have its own driveway that is not connected to anything else. In the driveway are parked two cars. Both are on flat tires. One is a Saab, and the other appears to be a Ford station wagon. I guess that this is part of number 25. The address you see on this next mailbox. Then you get to another driveway. It's a short driveway leading to a dumpster. For some reason, the owner of the premises has left about 20 storage containers all around their driveway. So it appears crazy. There is also a lot of junk lying around and a bunch of stuff that you could see behind the driveway in the yard that kind of leads to what looks like a house. So the whole yard looks overgrown, and I could slightly make out a house in the back of this overgrown yard. And again, I have seen this setup over and over again in areas all over New Hampshire. In my opinion, this is what the military and the locals do to attract homeless people to certain areas like this. They have buildings that appear to be abandoned, and the areas are extremely disheveled. Oftentimes they look like junkyards or run-down houses with junk lying everywhere. And so it gives off a subconscious message, and that message is, this is an area filled with people who are down and out, and nobody cares too much about what happens in this area. So it's almost as if the people living in this area are homeless or next to homeless themselves.